Just God's love, and with God's love He can do it all. If you don't mind, hit that follow button and subscribe. The stream is starting soon. Come watch the rabbit, let's watch the rabbit, bringing entertainment to me and you. Come watch the rabbit, let's watch the rabbit. It's not hard to do. Get ready because the stream is starting now.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another JRabbit87 stream. I'm your host, JRabbit87, and in the background is my hashtag wonderful wife, Firebird10.
Hello.
So you might hear some coughing, you might hear her commentating, you might hear her, but I know that we all love her, so no one's complaining.
Taka.
What?
Taka.
I...
Taka.
Taka?
Taka.
Okay.
Because Taki.
Blah. We have a huge RWF show set for you today. We have 10 action-packed matches. We have some announcements, and we have some other storylines related stuff as well. So before we get into all of that, though, let's get into our commands. As always, we are sponsored by our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He has blessed both me and my wife extremely greatly, so we want to make sure that we return His blessings. We also, of course, want to say a huge thank you. Thank you to everybody that joins me today. It means the world. And, of course, we'll thank individuals at the industry. Discord. We have one of those. I accidentally put the Discord link up there earlier, but there it is again, thanks to my wife. If you'd like to come join us, come join us. We've got tons of chat rooms. We'd love to have you. You can also join us over on YouTube if you'd like by following that link that I just posted. Of course, all of our past live streams and highlight videos are posted there, although I did get a notification that apparently my Streamiversary stream has been taken down.
Huh?
Yeah, apparently there's some sort of... Apparently there's some sort of copyright. And it's not like... I didn't... It wasn't bad enough to give me a copyright strike, but it was bad enough to get the video taken down.
YouTube, doshite.
You can find our highlight videos over on TikTok if that's just what you want to see. Grab that link there to find those. And of course, last but certainly not least, are ways to help support the stream if you would like to do so. With that, of course, nothing is ever required, but everything is very much appreciated. More information on how you can help out is in the stream. So, although I wish more people were in here at the start of the show, because I have to start things out with a huge announcement. So I'll probably say this announcement again later on, but it needs to be known. So, as most of you may or may not know, the RWF is ran by its president, Tony Marcus Jones. Well, it has been revealed via the board of directors that a vote of no confidence has been issued to the president, Tony Marcus Jones. Now, this does not mean that TMJ has been fired. All this means is, as of right now, Tony Marcus Jones has been suspended from his role as president of the Rabbit Wrestling Federation. Now, he will get a chance to talk with the board of directors to plead his case and all that at a later date. what this means for you all as fans of the Rabbit Wrestling Federation, though, is there is someone else in that authoritative power again. I know, it seems like it switches every dang time. Who is in power? We don't know. It is an anonymous general manager that has been put in charge of the Rabbit Wrestling Federation as of today. So that is the big major announcement, and he is shaking, or he or she or whoever it is shaking things up. And tonight's main event is proof of just how much they are shaking things up. Plot twist, it's all mine. Now, with that said, later in the night, we actually also have a message from Bray Wyatt that is about the whole situation with the Wyatt Six becoming number one contenders to the men's tag team championships that Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy currently hold. That message will come later in the show. For now, it's time to get things started with our opening contest as the number one contender for the Women's European Championship, Jade Cargill, goes one-on-one with the Women's European Champion's best friend, Piper Niven.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Ayrshire, Scotland, Piper Niven!
And here she comes, Piper Niven. Of course, she is a former RWF Women's European Champion, as well as a former RWF Women's World Champion. As of lately, though, she is kind of the first roadblock on anyone who wants to get to Chelsea Green and the Women's European title.
A storm is coming.
And her opponent from Orlando, Florida, Jade Cargill!
And here comes a woman on a mission. She and Bianca Belair unfortunately failed to win the Women's Tag Team Champions. She has used the anger and fury to gain the number one contendership spot, and now she claims that Chelsea needs to be warned and needs to hold on to her title because a storm is coming, and that storm is Jade Cargill. And this match is underway. And Cargo already with a big giant push there, showing that she is not playing any games here tonight. And Cargo showing off her tremendous strength. But Piper Niven able to continue to battle back in every way. Back and forth action between these ladies. Each one wants to prove that they are the better woman tonight. Big kick there by Cargo going into the cover. Could this be it? No. A kick out of two. And of course, the champion would show her face in this match. She just can't help herself, can she? And Niven from behind with a schoolboy pin, and not even a one count. Huge power bomb there by Jade Cargo.
Showing off her strength there.
And now Jade Cargo going for it. Yes, she's hit the Jaded. Will this be it? No, somehow Piper Niven still kicks out at two. The Cargo now up to the top rope, flexing. Followed by a sidestep by Niven. And now Niven showing off her big splash there, shades of Big Van Vader. Only a two. I should also mention that Jade Cargo's #1 contendership spot is not on the line here tonight. This is just what Chelsea Green likes to do. She likes to send Piper Niven to kind of soften her opponents up. And meanwhile, she also uses this as a way to study her opponents. And if they lose, that's just more mind games for Chelsea Green. And now Niven showing off her power, sending Cargo over the top ropes. onto, not over. Back and forth between these two powerful women. And Cargill, this time, walking around with the Jaded, showing off just how powerful she is. And that's it.
Here is your winner, Jade Cargill.
And Jade Cargill with a massive statement here tonight, putting away Piper Niven. With very, very dominant. Well, up next, we have a tag team match as the number one contender to the United States Championship and the number one contender to the Pure Honor Championship team up to take on the current United States Champion and Pure Honor Champion. That's right, John Cena and Tama take on the return of the tag team that calls themselves Tex-Mex, Santos Escobar, and Terry Funk.
I can't be weak. Coming from the streets of the ghetto at the end of the week, I get to keep your dinero. You're fast asleep when I sneak in your casa. Your life sucks cause you're bankrupt and I'm laughing. Can't trust me, answer, cause I'm Latin. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Do you feel it? I lie, I cheat, I steal. Yeah, say hello to Eddie. Yo, too many try to tell me what I already know. No, can you feel the heat? Yeah, say hello. Yo, yeah, viva la raza. Wanna be Latino? If you're not cheating, you're not trying. I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Yo, mamacita, I got that passion that's lasting long. Los mujeres fall in love with that Latin charm. One woman isn't enough, amigo. Siempre cogiendo más mujeres porque soy Latino. And I'm tougher than tough, call your bluff, cuz I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, representing the Islanders from the Pacific Islands, weighing in at 229 pounds, Tama!
Now, Tama is used to being a tag team wrestler, but tonight he's not tagging with his normal Islander tag team partner. Now, tonight he's teaming with the Doctor.
And his partner from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, John Cena!
And here he comes. He is, at least least for now, stopped teaming up with R-Truth. He's dropped the greatest of all time thing, and in fact, he's turned the clock back. He says that Santos Escobar needs a lesson that only the doctor of thugonomics can teach, and it's time to bring the United States title back to the United States.
Representing Legado del Fantasma from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 200 pounds, the United States Champion, Santos Escobar.
And here comes the current United States champion. He claims that he wants to be better than both Eddie Guerrero and Chelsea Green ever were. He's got quite a long ways to do that. So far, I just do it. Tonight, however, it's about tag team action. Him and Terry Funk, they have tagged before. We'll see if they can be successful. And they are something else.
From Amarillo, Texas, weighing in at 247 pounds, the Pure Honor Champion, Terry Funk.
And here he comes. When you look up the word hardcore in the dictionary, this man's face is right there. The originator, the hardcore icon and legend, and your current Pure Honor champion, Terry Funk. Tagging in John Cena now. And now the number one contender to the United States title and the United States champion get to be in the ring at the same time. In many people's eyes, Santos Escobar will be facing his biggest challenge to date when he faces not just John Cena, but this particular version of John Cena. And there's a tag out to Terry Funk. Big choke slam there by Cena, and now there's the tag out to Tama. And now the Pure Honor champion and his contingent get to be in the ring together. This will be Terry Funk's first title defense since becoming the Pure Honor champion. And of course, he'll be facing this man here, Naomi Tama, part of the Samoan dynasty. And he'll be looking to dominate this match against Terry. We'll see if that happens. Tagging back in John Cena, who immediately gets hit with the neck breaker. Into the cover, but Tama breaks it up. And now Terry Funk got the dreaded toast. Forgot what it was called. I knew what it was called, and then boom, out of my brain. Either way, Cena did not take it. Tagging back in, Tama. There's a tag to Santos Escobar. Surprisingly good teamwork by the team of Texans. Of course, Santos Escobar not only has he teamed with Terry Funk before, but we also can't forget the fact that he does lead his own faction, the stable known as Legado del Fantasma. Over there, but Cena puts a stop to the pin. And there's the tag to Terry Funk. Two count there. Terry Funk seems like he's upset. It looks like he's first one was over. Big powerbomb by the Funk stick. There's a tag to Santos Escobar. Now Tama going after Terry Funk, who's not the legal name. Escobar and Tama fighting from the outside of the ring. Although pinfalls and submissions cannot happen out here on the outside, a knockout can end this match in favor of one of those two. Big spinebuster by Escobar. There's a tag to Terry Funk and some more teamwork here by Tex-Mex. Submission hold lock. Back in, and there's the tap.
Here are your winners, the team of Santos Escobar and Terry Funk.
And the team of Tex-Mex gets the victory here tonight. The champions looking strong against their challengers. Well, two matches down, and we're just getting started. So, coming up next, it is the war of momentum over the tag team titles. But before we can get into all of that, we did reach out to Bray Wyatt about the situation here. And if you don't know what the situation is, if you haven't been paying attention, Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy, collectively known as the Faces of Fear, are the current RWF Men's Tag Team Champions. And in a surprising twist of every twist, one of the four tag teams that were entered into the number one contendership match for the next number one contenders to face Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy were none other than Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis of the Wyatt Six. And they ended up winning. Once more, Uncle Howdy entered with the Wyatt Six, and he celebrated with the Wyatt Six, which made a lot of us wonder, what's going on? How can this be? Is there something going on? Is this all Bray Wyatt? Is this another master manipulation? So we reached out to Bray. And his response was, "Oh, ye of little faith. No, this has nothing to do with me. I did not command Uncle Howdy, nor did I command the Six to do this. This is all 100% on Uncle Howdy. I don't know what he's doing, but I support it. Because my Fireflies, this can only end in one way, and that's with the Wyatt family. No matter if it's me and Howdy, or if it's Joe and Loomis, the Wyatt family will be on top." Strong words by Bray Wyatt. Now, unfortunately, we were unable to get with Uncle Howdy for a statement. However, per the new anonymous, per the new anonymous general manager, yes, we are getting the war of momentum between the Wyatt Six and the Faces of Fear. And that starts next. Here it comes, the personification of Uskus the Pig Boy. Joe Gacy, the one who actually won the #1 contendership for the Wyatt Six on our last episode, winning the match via count. Via submission. Well, I hope you guys aren't going to get tired of this song, because you're going to hear it a lot. Here he comes, the leader of the Wyatt Six, one half of the Faces of Fear, and one half of the current men's tag team champions, who, at least according to Bray Wyatt, is the one who orchestrated the Wyatt Six being the number one contenders. One still has to wonder why. Why would he have his own stablemates enter themselves into a number one contender match against himself? Why would he want that? Why would he want to face his stablemates here tonight? Unfortunately, only one person can answer these questions. And that person is Uncle Howdy, who we have not been able to get in contact. Here we go. We do also gotta, you can't help but compare these two. You got Joe Gacy, who has unfortunately never won any title here in RWF, versus Uncle Howdy, who not only is a former
Ooh, piece of candy.
RWF
Ooh, piece of candy.
heavyweight champion, but of course he is, as I said, one half of the current RWF Men's Tag Team Championships. And welcome in, T. Mainly working, but I'm here.
Hi, T.
Thank you.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Back and forth action between these two. We know that it's Uncle Howdy who picked Joe Gacy as well as Dexter
Ooh,
Lewis
piece of candy.
and
Ooh, piece of
Eric
candy.
Rowan and Nikki Cross to be a part of the Wyatt Six. This is almost a mentor versus student. Gacy kicks out after two after being hit with that big gear knock. Forth action between these two men that know each other so well. But now Uncle Howdy to the top rope. Massive elbow. Gacy was trying to finish it there, but Uncle Howdy over the reverse, and he reversed back. Big blow up hand by Gacy, but anyway. submission orders locked in. But Uncle Howdy able to pull out. Howdy now back to the top rope. Almost like he wouldn't pull the trigger there. Hits the Uranagi a second time here on the outside of the ring. Now he's stopping the count ideally to do more damage. Howdy bringing this back to the ring. Scoop slam into the cover. We got it too. By Gacy. Followed by DDT. Mandible claw locked in by Uncle Howdy. Could this be it?
Here is your winner, Uncle Howdy.
Massive war here tonight between these two stablemates. But Uncle Howdy, the leader of the White Six, gets the victory here tonight. Of course, not only does he get the victory, but that also means that the Faces of Fear gain the first point in the war of momentum over the men's tag team championships. For now, though, it's time to see who is going to get the first point for the women's tag team championships. Coming up next, It's Liv Morgan versus JC Jane.
JC Jane.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing Fatal Influence from Tampa, Florida, JC Jane.
And here she comes. We really haven't gotten to see much of her or Fallon here. So it'll be nice to see some fresh faces, especially here in the tag team division. Even though their attire looks like I might have to make them some matches.
And her opponent, representing Power and Glory from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Liv Morgan.
And here she comes, one half of the RWF Women's Tag Team Champions. I believe this is the second or third title defense. I can't remember off the top of my head. Need some research. Their third. They are approaching, this will be their third title defense. Of course, having already successfully defended against the team of Observation, and then successfully defending against the Power Busters. Back and forth action between these two ladies. Each one trying to get that first point in the Royal Momentum. there by Liv Morgan. And then Morgan setting up JC Jane. Big head scissor there. And Jane gets sick to the outside. Count of 7, we might be looking at a count of victory here. And in a surprising twist of fate, Liv Morgan actually dove outside the ring, missing to boot, resetting the count. She could have won this. She could have won this right then and there. Both ladies back into the ring, into a cover.
Here is your winner, Liv Morgan.
Well, play around or not, Liv Morgan ends up getting the victory here tonight, getting the first point in the War of Momentum. So far, both the champions, the Faces of Fear and Power and Glory, the two actual the two champions, have the first point in the War of Momentum. Now, as usual, we like to break up the War of Momentum with a match that happens in between. And boy, oh boy, do we have a match for you tonight. The new anonymous general manager of the Rabit Wrestling Federation has re-signed two former tag teams of the Rabit Wrestling Federation that have not been seen in quite some time. Now, one of the two have changed their tag team name. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, it is the re-debut of those guys versus the Martyrs.
'cause your opinion don't matter.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 430 pounds, Dr. and Dr. C, the Martyr.
And here they come. You may have known this team as once known as the Terrors, but since they're the Terror Twins in RWF, they have renamed themselves the Martyrs. They are Dr. Corvus and Dr. Naha, and they have come to cure the pestilence that has infected RWF.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 485 pounds, Luke and Butch, those guys.
And here comes the other signing. It's Luke and Butch. Those guys. In all honesty, out of all the people the new GM could have brought back, I'm really surprised he decided to bring back those guys. Corvus and Butch starting this match off. Corvus so far in control of this match. There's a tag out to Dr. Naha, who believes that the only cure for the pestilence that has infected is the venom that sources through his veins, and there's a tag out and a double super kick. It's just brutalizing Butch at this point, and there's a tag out to Luke. Tagging back in Dr. Naha. He goes for a quick pin, but it's broken up by Butch. Tagging back in Dr. Corvus now. Team action, and there's a tag and off his feet around the ropes. Now pin reversals here, but no. Tagging in now. Butch comes back into this match. tag back out to Dr. Naha. Tagging back in Dr. Clovis. Clovis was going for the cure there, but reversal.
That's a tag.
Tagging in the loop. And now going for their clothesline there. Running Bulldog into the cover. He got it too. Tagging in. Hitting that clothesline maneuver again. Tagging in. Naha. And now the two of them going for the reckoning. To the cover. Breaking up off the gate. Tagging back in now. Well, I guess we're all seeing why he chose these guys to be re-signed. Putting the Martyrs through the ringer here. Tagging back in Butch now. Corvus. To the cover. Kick out at 2. Hits the containment breach, and there is the tag to Dr. Nama. Bulldog combination. He's in the corner, but Dr. Corvus picks it up. Yeah, sorry for the late arrival, but it looks like I came just in time to see the best tag team in the history of history. Yes, we have a team of the Martyrs versus those guys. Battering ram headbutt there, but Dr. Nama saving up the matchup. Tagging back in Butch. So I renamed us the Martyrs because the Terrors are taken by the Terror Twins. It was just too close to the Terror Twins. I can dig it. Yeah. Tags in Dr. Corvus. The game is a bit off compared to the Rabit. Weird. There we go. Hopefully that'll help. And Dr. Corvus gets the cure, but Luke breaks up the pinfall. Does that help? And there's a knockout.
Here are your winners, Dr. A and Dr. C, the Martyrs.
And the Martyrs winning their first match back here in RWF. Hi, Nick. Woo! Hi, Amanda. So, I'm going to have to leave you guys for just a second to go finish the vlog because my hashtag wonderful wife is about to go to bed. But, hashtag intermission. But when I come back, boy, oh boy, Nick, do I have a lot of stuff that you need to know about. So, stick around. I'll be right back. Alright. I am back, and okay, before we continue, Kung Fu Cobra, Nick, my good friend, are you still here? I do. Yeah. Okay. So, things that you need to know that you've missed out on. First and foremost, match-wise, Jade Cargill defeated Piper Niven via pinfall. Terry Funk and Santos Escobar teamed up to face their number one contenders, John Cena and Tama, and Terry Funk made Tama tap out to win the match. Uncle Howdy defeated Joe Gacy via pinfall. Liv Morgan defeated JC Jane via pinfall. And now the Martyrs, you just saw, defeated those guys. Storyline wise, we have learned that the president of RWF, Tony Marcus Jones, has been suspended from duty. He is not fired, but he is suspended from all active, like his active role as president, and has no authority right now because the board of directors have voted a no they voted a no confidence in him. So he will get to face the board of directors and plead his case and all that at a later date. As of right now, though, since he is no longer in charge of RWF, we have an anonymous general manager who has been put in charge of RWF. And that anonymous general manager has made or is making a few different things and has decided to do a few different things. One of those things was what you all just saw. He has re-signed Dr. Naha and Dr. Corvus, as well as re-signing those guys, Butch and Luke, as active competitors here in RWF. Other than that, we have not been able to get in contact with Uncle Howdy, but we were able to get in contact with Bray Wyatt. And when asked about the Wyatt Six and them becoming number one contenders to the tag team championships, his response was, "O ye of little faith, I have nothing to do with the Six and their accomplishment. I congratulate them, but I have nothing to do with that. I did not command Howdy, and I did not command the Six to do this. This is all on Uncle Howdy. It is his doing and his bidding. I don't know what his end goal is, and I don't care. Because right now, I've got the whole world in my hands. And whether we win or lose, this will only end with the Wyatt family standing strong." So, Bray Wyatt apparently has nothing to do with the Wyatt Six becoming number one contenders. Unfortunately, Uncle Howdy has yet to be able to get in contact with us. We saw him earlier tonight, but he is nowhere to be found when it comes to just trying to ask why. With all of that said, we are getting back to the action because coming up next, to find out if the Faces of Fear will go 2-0 or 1-1 in the War of Momentum, it's Bray Wyatt versus Dexter Lumis. comes the personification of mercy, the buzzard. You know, just as Uncle Howdy has been, the Wyatt Six have refused any kind of interview as well. Each time we have tried to reach out to any of the six about this whole situation, the only thing they have said is talk to Howdy. And Howdy is unreachable. Sounds like it's been one heck of a good show. I wonder who this Jim is. I can say he has a good taste in teams, though. And once again, I repeat myself. I really hope you guys don't get tired of this song, because you're going to be hearing it a lot. Of course, Uncle Howdy has already got 1 point in the War of Momentum when he defeated Joe Gacy earlier. You know that Bray Wyatt would love nothing more than to make it 2-0 here tonight. Former RWF Heavyweight Champion, former RWF Intercontinental Champion, former RWF Pure Honor Champion, currently one half of the RWF Men's Tag Team Champions. The only title that has escaped his grasp is the United States Championship. I love this song, so no worries here. Yay. This match is underway, and we know that, at least from Uncle Howdy and Joe Gacy, even though that these are all part of the same, Wyatt family extent, there's not going to be any punches held back here tonight. Now these two fighting here on the outside of the ring. You got to think for Dexter Lumis, this is a chance for him to blow off a little bit of steam as well, considering what Bray Wyatt put him and the rest of the six through earlier or last year when Bray Wyatt opened the door to the Firefly Funhouse, unleashing younger versions of Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, Uncle Howdy, and Nikki Cross, forcing them to battle basically themselves, with even the threat that if they lost, then their younger versions would get to stay while the others would be forced to be locked behind the funhouse door. Also, did the audio, I don't know if you, but it do help. Game audio is still a bit loud, but it should be okay because I can hear you easier. I can, that's also probably because the microphone got moved back. There we go. Hopefully, let's see if that helped even better. I turned the game audio down even further, so let me know if that helped as well. I'm actually going to go real quick while this match is going on and grab some Pop-Tarts because I'm still hungry. It's good now? Okay, good. I'm glad. And now these two continue to fight on. Huge spine buster there by Dexter Lumis. that's it.
Here is your winner, Bray Wyatt.
And Bray Wyatt winning here tonight, bringing the War momentum 2-0. Well, with that, we move right along. Coming up next, we see if Raquel Rodriguez can do the same thing as she goes one-on-one with Fallon Henley. Fallon. Jimmy Fallon.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing Fatal Influence from Chelsea, Michigan, Fallon Henley.
A country girl, take your time. Fallon Henley looking to prove herself in the tag division here tonight.
And her opponent, representing Power and Glory from Rio Grande Valley, Texas, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Raquel Rodriguez.
And here comes a lady who, although she was unable to qualify and become a number one contender for a singles title, she did in the same night go on to defeat all the other women champions to be crown herself champion among champions of the women's division. Chair shot by Liv Morgan, trying to give a little bit of an advantage here to her tag team partner. Took out a 2, and you know that would have been a huge upset right there. At this point in time, I know Miss Fallon has got to be thinking, what else do I got to do? I've thrown everything at her but the kitchen sink. And that's it.
Here is your winner,
Perhaps the upset of the decade as Fallon Henley ties the war momentum 1-2-1. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we only have 3 more matches, including our massive main event, which I have not yet talked about, and that is because the new anonymous general manager has made a match that is going to be quite groundbreaking. But he or she has also told me that I'm not allowed to talk about it until it is time for the main event. Oh yeah, I was low-key cheering for Henley too. Nice. Well, coming up next, Umaga is the number 1 contender to Finn Balor's Intercontinental Championship belt. And out of all the members of the Judgment Day, Carlito, of all of them, has stepped up saying, that's not very cool. And he plans on putting a stop to the Samoan bulldozer before he gets started. We'll see if he can at least put a dent. That match is coming up next.
Do you know what cool is?
The follower is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the Judgment Day. From San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing in at 220 pounds,
And here he comes with some questioning Carlito, while others are applauding Carlito.
and his opponent, accompanied by Armando Alejandro Estrada from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 350 pounds, the Samoan bulldozer, Umaga!
And here he comes being accompanied by his manager, Armando Alejandro Estrada, the man known as the Samoan Bulldozer, Umaga. And Carlito doing whatever he can to put Umaga down.
Two.
Umaga on full display, but Carlito not willing to give up just yet. Now I feel the need to mention that despite what Carlito said, Umaga's #1 contendership spot is not on the line here tonight. So if somehow Carlito does beat Umaga, Umaga is still the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship. Close call, but Umaga is still in this. And now Alejandro getting involved. Umaga going for the Samoan spike, but Carlito able to reverse into the backstabber. There's the cover, but a kick out at 2. Very nice springboard drop kick there by Carlito, but now Umaga starting to fight back. Big power slam. And now Umaga going to the top rope, hitting a massive headbutt. Still not enough to put away Carlito. Carlito with a cover, but again, Armando Alejandro Estrada getting involved, allowing Umaga plenty of time to kick out. It looks like the referee has ejected Armando Alejandro Estrada. Again, going for the Samoan spike, but Carlito able to reverse a second backstabber. A little bit of extra pudding to try to get it, and he did.
Here is your winner,
Salta del medio, que por ahí viene Carlito.
And somehow, Carlito gets the win here tonight. I miss Armando, right? I was not a fan when they separated them. Now that match was cool. Yeah, I was not a big fan of when they separated Umaga from Armando. It worked. Whoa. Not how Umaga wanted to start his possible championship or road to the championship, but it is now time for our semi-main event of the evening, a mixed gender tag team match, number one contender and champion versus number one contender and champion. Coming up next, it's Rhea Ripley and Hollywood Hogan versus Natalya and Shaquille O'Neal.
This is my brutality!
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Adelaide, Australia, Rhea Ripley.
And here she comes, a former two-time RWF Women's European Champion. This will be her first. Well, I mean, she's had opportunities to get the Women's World Championship, but if she's able to actually win, it'll be her first time holding the Women's World Championship. Of course, standing in her way is Natalya, who is now a two-time Women's World Champion, and of course holds the record for being the very first ever Women's World Champion. I feel like I heard a rumor that Armando may be managing the son of Umaga, Zilla Fatu, at some point in the future, but that's just theory. There. Here he comes, Hollywood Hogan, a former RWF Heavyweight Champion. Though when he won it, many believe that it was 100% thanks to Eric Bischoff. This time he's looking to do it all on his own.
From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the Women's World Champion, Natalya!
And here she comes, as I already previously mentioned, the very first ever Women's World Champion, now a two-time Women's World Champion. And she says, although she respects Rhea Ripley, and she knows we all love Mommy, well, everybody better get used to the fact that she is the champion, and that title ain't going nowhere.
And from Newark, New Jersey, weighing in at 360 pounds, the heavyweight champion, Shaquille O'Neal!
And here he comes, Shaquille O'Neal, the current champion. He says that Hogan better not be expecting another Hogan versus Andre to happen, because he doesn't plan on leaving without the title.
Are you not entertained?
It looks like it's going to be the ladies starting things out tonight. And Natalya so far dominating Rhea Ripley, and now there's a tag to big Shaquille O'Neal. As I tag out to Hogan. Tag back into Rhea Ripley. As tagging back in Natalia. Rhea Ripley hits the snake bite into the cover, but Shaquille O'Neal breaks it up. And now Rhea locks in the jailbreak. But she decides to let Natalia go. Tagging in Hogan. And now Natalia with a sharpshooter on Hogan. There's a tag to Shaquille O'Neal. Slam dunk into the cover. And a kick out of two. Big scoop and a slam. We know what's coming up next. Hogan leg drop into the cover. And a kick out at 2. And Rhea Ripley hits Shaquille O'Neal with the riptide into the cover. Oh, kick out at 2. Tag out to Natalya. Tagging back to Shaquille O'Neal. Tagging into Hogan. Quick clothesline into the cover. Only one count. Hogan hits another late drop into the cover. And Natalia's right there and breaks up the cover. Big powerbomb into the cover. With a kick out of 2. Again, Rhea Ripley. And that's it.
Here are your winners, the team of Rhea Ripley and Hollywood Hogan.
And Rhea Ripley able to knock out Shaquille O'Neal. Referee stopping the match and awarding the win to Rhea Ripley and Hollywood Hogan. The number 1 contenders looking strong here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, that means we are finally at our main event. And I have been chomping at the bits to talk about this because of just how interesting, just how groundbreaking, just how everything. So, let me take you back a couple of shows ago. While Gunther, the Ring General, was getting ready to face off against Shaquille O'Neal, While Gunther was getting ready to face off against Shaquille O'Neal for the RWF Heavyweight Championship in an attempt to dethrone Shaquille O'Neal, Gunther's tag team partner, Ludwig Kaiser, got a pinfall victory over Shaquille O'Neal in a non-title match. Then, at the big event Frosty Fight Night, Gunther would go one-on-one with Shaquille O'Neal, and Gunther would win via count out. Now, unfortunately, the title does not change hands via count out. Now, after this, Shaquille O'Neal went on record as saying that he is not giving Gunther a title rematch. That Gunther should be smart enough to know to get him into the ring and that the title doesn't change hands via count out. So he can have his victory, but he's going to continue to slam dunk other people who want to come after his title. Why am I bringing any of this up? Well, as I have stated throughout the night, Tony Marcus Jones is no longer in control of RWF. We have instead an anonymous general manager. That anonymous general manager has already made their presence known tonight by bringing back the Martyrs and those guys, as well as forcing the war momentum between the Wyatt Six and the Faces of Fear to go on as normal. But ladies and gentlemen, our main event, our next match, it is Gunther versus Ludwig Kaiser. And whoever wins will face Shaquille O'Neal for the RWF Heavyweight Championship next episode in a Falls Count Anywhere match. We will see who's going on to face Shaquille O'Neal coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing Imperium from Hamburg, Germany, weighing in at 220 pounds, Ludwig Kaiser!
I don't know who to cheer for, right? Well, here it comes. Both of these men have a victory over Shaquille O'Neal. But they're also tag team partners, and they both want to bring back integrity to the ring by getting Shaquille O'Neal out of the picture. But you gotta wonder how Hollywood Hogan feels about all this. Because he's the #1 contender and will face whoever the victor is next episode at Rabbit Mania.
And his opponent, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 250 pounds, Gunther!
And here he comes, the ring general. These two also failed to win the #1 contenderships for the RWF Men's Tag Team Championships last episode. You gotta wonder if what's going through his mind, if he was wondering, if he was going to get a rematch. And Shaq does have a point. Gunther, being the ring general, should have known that a countout might equal victory but it does not equal title. In this match about to be underway, these two allies, these friends, about to go to a battle, and we know that friends make the best enemies. They're not going to hold anything back because both of them want to be a champion here in RWF, and neither one of them have been a champion here in RWF. This anonymous general manager, whoever he or she may be, putting themselves on the map here tonight with just some of their decisions that they've made. Just a look back at some of the decisions made by this new anonymous general manager tonight. The re-signing of the tag teams of the Martyr and those guys, forcing the Faces of Fear and the White Six to compete in the War of Momentum over the tag team championships, as well as now forcing these two tag team competitors to face off, with the winner getting to go and get a title shot in a last man standing match next episode. Also, we only have one more RWF episode before our next big event. Big power bomb, count of 2, but Ludwig Kaiser able to kick out. Now a close call for Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser hitting that DDT, the same move that beat Shaquille O'Neal, but Gunther able to kick out. Into the second time, into the cover, and a kick out of 2. Using the ropes for advantage, the referee doesn't see it, and that's it.
Here is your winner, Ludwig Kaiser.
Huge victory here for Ludwig Kaiser, who will go on next episode to face Shaquille O'Neal for the RWF Heavyweight Championship. I'm surprised, but not upset. Fair. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show here tonight. Just in case you've missed anything, kind of a recap here. Jade Cargill defeated Piper Niven via pinfall. John Cena and Tama, the number one contenders to the United States and Pure Honor Championships, would team against the United States and Pure Honor champions Santos Escobar and Terry Funk, with Terry Funk making Tama tap out to win the match. Uncle Howdy would defeat Joe Gacy via pinfall to gain the first war point in the war momentum over the men's tag team championships, gaining the first point for the current tag team champions. Liv Morgan would defeat JC Jane via pinfall to get the first point of the war momentum over the women's tag team championships in the current women's tag team champions corner. The Martyrs would re-debut to defeat the other, also re-debuting those guys. Bray Wyatt would defeat Dexter Lumis via pinfall, making the War Momentum Faces of Fear 2, Wyatt 6-0. Fallon Henley would end up defeating Raquel Rodriguez, making the War Momentum Power and Glory 1, the Fatal Influence 1. Carlito would defeat Umaga. Rhea Ripley and Hollywood Hogan would defeat Natalya and Shaquille O'Neal. And Ludwig Kaiser would defeat Gunther, earning himself a title shot next episode against Shaquille O'Neal in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have had a good time tonight. We will be live, or we should be live again this coming Sunday with Batman Arkham Knight. And a continued playthrough of that. Then, of course, we will be live after that on Saturday, the 24th, and Sunday, the 25th of January. Both days will be wrestling, with the 24th being a regular being the last RWF stream before our next RWF big event, and of course Sunday the 25th being said big event, the Rabit Rumble. All, of course, start at 7 p.m. Central Time, so I hope you guys will join me for those. As of tonight, we're going to go ahead and get our commands going, and then I'm going to let you guys go for the evening. So, as always, we are sponsored by our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He has blessed both me and my wife extremely greatly, so we want to make sure that we return his blessings by giving him all the honor, glory, credit, and praise that he rightfully deserves. We also want to say a huge thank you. Thank you to everybody that joined me today. It means so much to me that you guys take time out of your busy days to come and hang out with me. Of course, a huge thank you also goes to our supporters, starting with my hashtag wonderful wife, Firebird10, our amazing friends Nick and T, as well as our other friends Danny, Sean, and Steve, and of course the two digital artists responsible for our artwork, Amon Wolf of CNH Podcast and Z Fire Incorporated. Thank you all again so much. Discord. We have one of those. If you've not joined our Discord and you would like to, feel free to grab that link right there and come join us. We've got tons of chat rooms. That's where important announcements are announced. Decisions are decided. Discussions are discussed. Wrestling results are resulted. Chats are chatted. And honestly, we just love to have you there. Another place that we love to have you is over on YouTube. If you'd like to check out our past live streams or highlight videos, you can grab that link there and come join us over there. Now, since it is all free and it's another way to help support, I do ask if you don't mind, give the YouTube channel a subscribe, hit the bell icon to keep yourself notified, give the videos a like, and give them a comment because comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. You can also find us over on TikTok. If you'd like to just see our highlight videos, well, that's what's over there. Again, since it's all free and another way to help support, if you don't mind, give the channel a follow, give the TikTok videos a heart, and give them a comment because comments are also good for the TikTok algorithm. Last but certainly not least, a ways to help support the stream right here, right now, if you would like to do so. Always keep in mind that nothing is ever required, but everything is very much appreciated. With that, more information on how you can help the stream is in the chat, so feel free to read that at your leisure, and remember to do only what you're able and comfortable with doing. With that, I hope to see you guys on Sunday. I am JRabbit87, and I hope you all have a very good night.
Thanks so much for joining the stream of the rabbit. I hope you had